Is this Bitcoin move over? Or are we just getting started? Oh man, so Bitcoin finishes Saturday up 5%, opens up Sunday down 1%. Are we set up for a big crash to the downside? Or is Bitcoin simply consolidating for its next bullish continuation? In this video, we're going to break down the exact levels in the charts, plus my take on whether I think this move can continue from here. We've got a lot of euphoria in this market, which I'm going to share with you. I've got a few warnings and I've got a few interesting points to mention. Make sure you smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, check out the links in the description below. We've got a big week coming up this week. We've got the US PPI inflation. We've got initial jobless claims and a bunch of Fed officials speaking. But one thing is for sure, Bitcoin has been on an absolute parabolic rise here. You can see a number of huge, big green candlesticks, and a lot of people are starting to see excitement in the market. A lot of people have not seen days like this, and finally, now that they have come in, people are getting excited. And if you want a measure, we look at the fear and greed index, we see it sitting at 52. And I did a little bit of research to say, okay, when did we last see 52? We have not seen 52 since April of last year, okay? So that's when, on the 4th of April, we had a score of 52. And back then, Bitcoin was sitting at 58K. So you can see there is a lot of excitement in the market. And this makes sense because if Bitcoin has previously been to 69,000 and people are jumping in now, getting ready for this next big move, they see this as a very low risk move that Bitcoin can return to all-time highs. So loads of people are super excited to jump into the market right now. But this is where we need to be smart. This is where we need to look at what's in front of us, be data-led, and not let our emotions take over. Just switching over to this view now because it's so much easier to demonstrate with all four charts open at the same time. What you're looking at here is the hourly chart on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is forming a beautiful bullish continuation. You can see us consolidating into the EMA ribbon, okay? And this is forming a bull flag. You have your move, which is the pole, and then you have your flag. Again, if none of this is making sense, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ijaz.uk/TA, we go through all of this stuff. It's completely free. Check it out. Links in the description. I'm not charging for my TA calls. Very important. So this is a consolidation pattern. Now the bears have not managed, even on this chart, to push us down below this ribbon. They've not even managed to push us down to the key support level at 20,000. So the bears are showing some weakness. The bulls have had a really big move here. They're taking a breather, as you'd expect. And now the question is, are we going to explode and have our big move to the upside? Or will the bears finally step up and at least make us do some work at the 20,000 level? Now, as you guys know, I like to zoom out to get some confluence. So we're going to zoom out and we're going to take a look at the 4-hour chart as well, right? Because it's always important to jump up a timescale. And we're seeing a similar thing here, okay? We're seeing the same thing, a consolidation. But one thing is for sure, we do have extension here. Okay, we are extended from the EMA ribbon, and a retracement down to 20,000 gives me no qualms whatsoever here. In fact, I think it's really healthy. After a big move like this, I'm absolutely fine with us coming down to this grey line here at 20,000. That will cause me no issues or qualms whatsoever. If the bears wanted to do that on this 4-hour time frame, absolutely no issues. And I'll be looking for my next trade as some sort of a pickup around this 4-hourly EMA ribbon will be a nice little pullback for some entries for me. Okay, now we need to zoom up to the daily chart. Okay, this is the daily chart, an insane couple of days here on the Bitcoin chart, and you can see it's hugely extended. So even here, guys, this is where things get interesting, which a lot of people fail to understand the nuance. For your long-term bags, there's no issue coming down to 20 is here, right? What I just showed you on the 4-hourly chart, what I said I was fine with on the EMA ribbon, is here. It's not even a spec. This could come all the way down here to the next line at 18,000 to test the EMA ribbon, and I wouldn't have an issue. Anywhere in between there is ideal. 18 is like the limit of where I'd want it to retest, but even then you continue your bullish uptrend. You're still above your EMA ribbon. So we're in a hugely favorable position right now. The bears can do a lot of work to push us down to 20, 19, even 18,000 and 18 and a half in this kind of range here, and we're still in a good position as far as Bitcoin's concerned. So nice bullish momentum here. Doing well. Volume candles are coming in. Very important. A lot of euphoria is coming in. I just showed you the fear and greed index. People are interested in crypto right now, and you're seeing that play out. Now, this is the chart. The weekly chart, right? The weekly chart. This is what always has to give you perspective. And I always remind you of this, guys, particularly when there's froth in the markets, right? When the markets were fearful, I was saying this is the time to accumulate. This is when everyone's fearful. Nobody's interested in crypto. Your driver's not talking about crypto. Well, guess what? Suddenly those phone calls are happening again, right? Maybe your random uncle is asking you, oh, what's going on with crypto? Do I need to enter? This is the FOMO, okay? And we need to be careful here. On the weekly time frame, the move we have just had is this, okay? Hopefully that puts it into perspective. We are running into resistance. And this is called the opposite of confluence. This is a bullish continuation pattern on the hourly chart. This is a bearish continuation pattern on the weekly chart. The higher time frame takes precedence at all time. So always be very careful trading a long position against the trend. Doesn't mean you can't do it. You've got to have tight take profits, tight stop losses, because it's very easy for the bears to push us back down, okay? Very, very important. We're not even halfway through our EMA ribbon. This situation changes once we get above our EMA ribbon and start closing above 24.5, 25,000 in this range above our EMA ribbon, okay? Very important. Let's now jump back onto the desktop. So as you just saw, the FOMO is ripe right now. Now that doesn't mean we can't have another move to the upside, and this is where you've got to be careful. We're in this parabolic trend, right? When you have these parabolic trends, they can consolidate towards the parabola and potentially have one more move to the upside before falling out of the pattern. Now it's important to understand these do eventually fall out of the pattern. No project can sustain a parabolic move to the upside indefinitely, right? At some point it'll have to move sideways or have a retracement down. That is why I just showed you those key retracement levels. I have no qualms with those going into the 4-hourly EMA ribbon, even if the bears are strong enough, pushing us down to the daily EMA ribbon. Absolutely no worries. Gives me an opportunity to buy those dips for my short-term trades, and for my long-term portfolio, maybe some more opportunities to load some of those bags which I didn't quite get a chance to load up on. Because the reality is, as much as you bought the dip, you're still going to have that feeling. You're going to have that mixed emotions that, I just wanted to buy some more. That's completely normal. That's managing your psychology. That happens. You've got to learn to navigate that. As much as you bought the dip, you're always going to wish you bought more. You're going to always wish the price stays suppressed. And that's the right mindset to have. So don't knock yourself for having that mindset. A few other things worth sharing with you guys. On the hourly chart here, we are consolidating in our Bollinger Band. You can see here, when the Bollinger Band constricts, normally means a big move is setting up. The direction of which we don't know, right? The bullish continuation pattern I shared with you, 2/3 of the time will break to the upside. But given the extension we've got, given that the weekly trend is still a downward trend, we've got to be very, very careful with our bets at this point. So big move is expecting. The Bollinger Bands are tightening up. Let's also notch this up to the 4-hourly chart. And you can see on the 4-hourly chart, it's hugely extended, right? The Bollinger Band is not going to be very reliable here. Let's notch that back up to the daily chart. And again, we've broken the structure of this Bollinger Band because of the huge move on the daily scale here. Notch it up one more, and on the weekly, this is what then gives you the perspective, right? On the weekly, you've had a move, you've broken through the red part of your Bollinger Band, the middle bit, and now you're heading towards resistance at the top. I'm going to overlay the VPVR as well, because it's no surprise that we're right at the point of control where the last bit of volume is. So from a weekly time frame, this battle is critical. If we can get above 24,000 and close a weekly candle above there, which we're not far off, we've got some work to do, but we're not far off, then the landscape changes, because then the things I've shared with you, not only do we come out of this Bollinger Band, not only do we break through these volume candles and have some easier volume here in terms of liquidity, but also if I bring out the EMA ribbon, we'll then be above our EMA ribbon. We'll start working our way above this area here, which is where we want to be, okay? So we want to be above this area here, and then we flipped our weekly EMA ribbon bullish, and we can start really setting up for a powerful move to the upside. So really exciting moment in the charts. Big week coming up. I will be covering it off with you guys, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notification bell's on. US PPI inflation. Remember, this is an important metric. This is what the producers are passing on in terms of inflation. This could surprise the market. We cannot neglect these pieces of inflation data. Initial jobless claims. Remember the labor figures. Any labor figures this year in Q1, Q2, we're all over it because the market's all over it. The market has told us they're focused more on labor figures than they are the CPI. So if we see good labor figures, expect volatility, expect the market moving in directions. Fed officials always speaking, they can throw a can of worms in sometimes, so we have to listen for that as well. Guys, if you're trading, check out the links in the description. But before you do that, ijaz.uk/TA. Set up your exchanges. Start watching TA course videos and then practice with some lunch money. That's how I started out in trading, and it's done me all right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe as always. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.